Jusay in blue, McAuliffe in black. Oh!
Good by Jusay. Oh!
Steele could be done.
Jab!
Huge job. Cody still trying to recover.
Now he's hurt.
Look how good he is. 20 seconds, never mind that. Do that at the end. Smart by Ron Chu to not risk a mistake late. Wow!
Whoa! What a fight.
What an absolute war between Ron Chu and Cody Steele. What a fascinating backdrop right to this one. You got Alexander Volkanovski in one corner, Ilia Topuria in the other. Oh, nice job by Topuria to get inside. Not a lot of wasted motion. Beautiful suplex. Wow. Ooh. Like you said, Topuria. Barshov is in red. Tom Nolan is in the purple. Attempts are set, so it finishes the fight going for the leg. Why not? A few seconds left on the clock.
She's cool. She
awesome.
can fight. She does everything right. It's very surprising she's an underdog because all she has been is down. Oh, see,
but the speed is different, but look at that. Oh, that's it. That's the shot, the 1-2. Good left-hand connection by Sean Whitley. And a takedown over
by Whitley.
OC! OC, OC, OC!
Ladies and gentlemen, the strawweight champion of the world, Sean Whitley.
Keep yourself protected. If I say stop, you stop. If you want to touch, do it now. God bless.
Blessing looks absolutely gigantic.
Oh!
That was nice. That right hand might have broken Strickland's nose.
Yeah,
he's in a bad way.
Break is on him now. Oh, it's bad.
Still Duplessis!
Kia ora e te iwi no mai hara mai ki UFC on Sky Koravinda huni a tōku ingoa. And joining me, dad of now 2 daughters, Dan. Welcome to the show and congratulations on the new arrival.
Thank you very much. I didn't like sleep anyway. So business as usual.
Yeah, well, how is it going? You know, little addition, born at the weekend on the same day as UFC 312, no less.
No, it was the day after. She came to the world Monday night.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, only missed sparring. I got what I got.
There's only two excuses, births and deaths, right?
Yeah. Coach Eugene gives you 2 excuses for missing training. You're either getting married or you're having a baby. Those are your 2. So I got out of sparring on Monday night. By Tuesday morning, I was back in the gym with nice red eyes.
I think they're going to be red eyes until you get to the end of the game, but oh well.
Not the first time I've done this.
Oh, you're experienced now, though. You know, you've got a bit of time under your belt now. But look, congratulations again. And let's get into this UFC 312. Dricus du Plessis obviously getting the better of Sean Strickland, and I feel like the fight just panned out the way you said it would last week, with Dricus having just too many tools in the tool belt for Sean Strickland.
Yeah, like Sean's not really going to change his style. He's good at what he does and he kind of sticks to it. Dricus just brings more options to the table and he just, instead of waiting those first couple rounds and thinking that he can figure Sean Strickland out, he just got into his face and pressed him. I have seen like a lot of criticism online about Sean Strickland.
I think he needs to evaluate what he wants to do in the sport. If it's just to make money, then that's great. Let us know. You know, I want to coach world champions. So my motivations are different, you know, so I think that, you know, just to kind of show up and do that and not really back it up, just to me was just kind of uninspiring.
They're saying that he's not who he says he is, and he's not, because he goes out there and he says, I'm like fight to the death kind of guy, brawl until you fall. And then he goes out there and people were criticizing him for not throwing the kitchen sink at Dricus, but it's like, well, the battle has been lost. As a fighter who is
many a kitchen sinks have been thrown.
throw the kitchen sink and go out on my shield is the official term, I believe. You can't criticize the guy for having some kind of self-preservation. It is a sport at the end of the day. You can say that, but it's not life or death. This is a sport, and how's that going to help him going out there and he just doesn't have the tools to swing for the finish. He really tried, but that was the worst overhand I think I've ever seen. As you come down the rugby field or grow up where I grew up, you learn how to throw an overhand in Mount Roskill. Better than his overhand. But there's still exciting fights for both. Obviously, Dricus was talking about moving up to fight Alex Pereira, but I think head and shoulders, without a shadow of a doubt, the next guy in line will be Hamza.
That is a very exciting prospect. And Dricus du Plessis did make comments on this after the fight. Let's see what he had to say and see if Dan's prediction is correct.
On the mic at the end, you took it and walked straight at Alex Pereira. It seemed like you sent a message to him. There was something online that he challenged you to come up to 205, and you said, deal. Is that true? What happened backstage?
Yeah. He came up and he said, did you challenge me? And I was like, I did the whole show. I did the whole movie scene and everything. And you're like, did you challenge me? That's kind of, that's anticlimactic, but sure, yes. And I said, yeah, I did challenge you, but I did. I have the world's respect for Alex Pereira. I think he is the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world. I have the most respect for him, what he's done in a short period of time in the UFC, to come from another sport, what he's done there. But yes, I want to share the octagon with that man. I want to be a guy. I've beaten Adesanya. Who's beaten him? I know I can beat him. And at 205, 100%.
Dana was also in here, and he said, that possible fight against you and Hamza would also be pretty massive at this point. So if it were up to you and he came to...
No, Hamza's first.
Hamza's first?
Hamza's first. No, I wish him... I said, please beat Uncle Live. No hate against Uncle Live. I just want to beat Alex Pereira. It's nothing personal against Uncle Live. It was just... Pereira, he's such a legend in the sport to me already, that it would be amazing to beat him for my legacy. I want to be the greatest to ever do this. But Hamzat's next. I want the Hamzat next. I think he deserves a hiding.
So there you have it. Dricus has set out somewhat of a blueprint. And I thought it was quite interesting that he would use Alex Pereira, but he is a big guy. He says he does hate weight cutting, so maybe moving to light heavyweight would be a natural progression for him in future. But where does that leave Sean Strickland? I mean...
Yeah, I feel like that one's pretty obvious as well. We had Israel contend last weekend and not get the result that he wanted last weekend. Strickland didn't get the result he wanted. They've obviously got a lot of back and forth between the two of them. I'd love to have him coach the Ultimate Fighter or something together. I think they'd really just chew each other's ears off. But I think that's a logical next fight. Strickland's going to need a bit of time off. From his nose was obviously shattered to pieces in that kind of fight. Israel is, I think, having a little bit of a hiatus as well. So I feel like in about 6 months' time or something like that, we'll see Israel Adesanya versus Sean Strickland.
Speaking of Israel Adesanya, he did take some of the spotlight at UFC 312 despite not being on the card. But his performance against Kelvin Gastelum in 2019 for the interim title inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame. What were your thoughts when Izzy got that honour?
Yeah, incredible. Like, they invited him over there and he was a bit confused. He's like, why am I getting... but yeah, it was a pretty awesome surprise. He was obviously swept off his feet by it, which is pretty cool. Hunter Campbell there and Dana White inducting him into the Hall of Fame. That's incredible. That goes down. That's in the record books. His name will be up there amongst the greats forever, as it should be, I believe.
Does this take your mind back to that fight and what an absolute war it was against Kelvin Gastelum?
Yeah, well, obviously that was when he was fighting for the interim title, and it was that was a slugfest, man. Like, to see Israel get hurt, and Gastelum, but it surprised everyone, I think. He won the interim title and then went on to fight Robert Whittaker in his next fight. So it was a pivotal moment in Israel's ascension. Once
Israel got that interim title, the rivalry was born between Robert Whittaker and Israel Adesanya. We see them now sitting on the couch laughing about fights now and getting along, but that's one of the greatest rivalries in the middleweight division now. And it's two, well, New Zealand-based, Australian-based fighters, Anzacs at that.
Just know I will never make up with anyone of my rivals.
Don't expect any opponent.
The death. I will take it to the grave. I'm that petty.
There's no open invite on your couch.
To the grave. I'll wheel my wheelchair over and I'll punch Edson Barboza square in his mouth.
Speaking of former fighting champions, we have another. Joseph Parker will be vying for the IBF heavyweight title against Daniel Dubois on February the 23rd. Of course, Joseph Parker was the WBO champion. He'll be the first ever New Zealander to fight for a second heavyweight title. Your thoughts on this matchup and, you know, what this actually means for New Zealand combat sports?
This is incredible. This is an incredible moment for Joseph Parker. Not even, I know like the world title, but just where heavyweight boxing is at the moment, there's a big resurgence from all the money being injected into it from the Saudis, and the sheik over there is just pumping money into it. So this is like the money that Joe would have won off his first world title, and then the money he's going to win off the second world title would be a phenomenal difference. There's, you know, 10, 20, 30, $40 million getting chucked around for guys stepping out and fighting for the heavyweight title at the moment. It's incredible. It brings that excitement level back to the sport, because at the end of the day, it is prize fighting. So with huge prizes like that on offer, it's just a wild time to be a boxing fan.
Whānau, I had the pleasure of catching up with Joseph Parker ahead of his journey to the title. Take two.
You know, I feel leading into a big fight like this, similar to when I fought Zhang, like the last three fights I've ever been here in Saudi Arabia. Simon Keane, I came out, I think, 11 days before. For Wilder was 2 weeks before, and then for Zhang was 3 weeks before. And I feel like 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks is a good time to be here before the fight, just to adjust to the different time zone and also to get over jet lag. But I think it's important just to give yourself every chance to get it right. We've had a great camp in Ireland where we trained very hard, put in the work. And I think it's important to finish it off in a great way by settling into Saudi Arabia, the time zone. And also, like, we'll be fighting around, you know, the last time I was here, I was fighting around 1 a.m. So I think it's important as well to adjust to the time that you're fighting. So being here for a week now, I feel like we've settled in. We've still got a week of hard work to put in. There's sparring, there's sprint work, there's a bit of activation, a bit of weights, but everything is on track. And I'm looking forward to this opportunity of fighting Daniel Dubois for the championship of the world. Big opportunity, big chance to be champion again. And I have taken this opportunity with both hands, and I am very excited for the chance. You know, just to be fighting for the championship of the world again for me is an amazing achievement. But to win it, it's going to mean a lot more, and it's going to be something very special.
Obviously, New Zealand fans have watched Joseph Parker's journey to the title once before, you know, a few years back when you picked up that WBO title. Do you make any comparisons about the differences now? Because, you know, I don't know if it's familiar territory to you, or what are the differences this time around?
I would say it's familiar territory because I've been there once before. But if I compare the fighter that I was in 2016, 2018 to the fighter I am now, I'm a lot more mature as a fighter and as a person. I actually appreciate the opportunity and the position that I'm in now, and I respect it a lot more, if that makes sense. Back then, I won the championship of the world, and I didn't really respect it by putting in the work and staying at that level. And I sort of just went about training and just doing whatever I needed to do, but I wasn't really putting in the work like I am now. Like now I live the life and I love it. I love what I do now. And I think when we spoke before, that's how much I love it. Like I flew to Ireland. I didn't have a fight locked in yet, but I was there training and hoping to have a fight locked in for December last year. That never worked out, but it's worked out a lot better that I have this big fight now with Daniel Dubois and the opportunity to be champion of the world. So the comparison to the fighter that I was before, I feel like that fighter was here and I'm here, which is a great comparison.
Over all of these years, what's helped you like stay in love with the sport so much that you're now on a second title run?
When I look at the me before, like I said, now it's a lot more mature. I actually understand what I'm doing now in the gym, and I understand what I'm doing, but there's a purpose behind every workout. Whereas before I was working like no one's fault and no one to blame, but I was working out with no real proper guidance or no real proper structure or no real proper program like I am now. And again, it's just learning. Like it's taken me 12, 13 years to learn all of this and to actually appreciate the position and to enjoy it like I am now. And like I do love what I do now. Like I wake up every day happy, I'm in a great mood, and I'm ready to put in work. But we have things in place where we can tell if we're getting better. We tell if we're getting stronger. We tell if we're getting fitter, if we're getting faster. And when you see these improvements each and every day, like tangibles, I think that's what helps give me that love as well. And also just being successful in the ring. Being successful in the ring and getting wins, it gets you closer to that goal of being champion of the world, and it just makes you enjoy it a lot more. Imagine you're in the ring and you're just losing. You still enjoy it all, but it wouldn't be as enjoyable as it is now.
Absolutely, and knowing that the hard work that you've put in is paying off, I'm guessing you kind of get addicted to those good results.
Oh, it's addictive. It's addictive getting good results, but it's addictive when you're training and you're getting not only the results in the ring, but you're seeing results in your training. You know, like I said, just the speed work, the strength, the endurance, the runs are getting better, the boxing's getting better, your heart rate's dropping faster, like all these things that you have in place leading into the fight makes it a lot more enjoyable. And then the fight is just like the fight, and then the win is like the icing on the cake.
We'll talk a little bit about your opponent now. Daniel Dubois, you'll be facing him February 22nd, New Zealand time. But when this name finally got across, your desk as an opponent, what were your thoughts? And obviously a no-brainer to say, yes, we're going to take this fight.
A big help to get this fight was a guy named Spencer Brown, who looks after Tyson Fury and a lot of other big fighters. And when the fight was announced, I remember being at an event in New Zealand, I think Boris Johnson, and I was at the event, being able to listen to Boris and hang out with everyone in attendance, and then they released on social media the fight was locked in. So I'm sitting there listening to this, at the event, and all of a sudden I see it on social media, I'm like, yeah, we got the fight, and I was like, all right, give me another Diet Coke, or give me another Coke Zero, man, let's celebrate. I was so happy. I was so happy because we've been waiting for a long time for a big fight, and this opportunity to fight for the championship of the world. Like when you're in boxing, you never know if you're ever going to reach the pinnacle, and you never know if you're ever going to be able to fight for the championship of the world once or twice or three times, whatever it is. So when you get this opportunity, it's you're not there yet, but you're close. You're close. You're on the doorstep. And you just have to get it right in order to get a result of getting a win, So I just remember being at the event, seeing the fight get locked in. I'm like, you know what? I got the opportunity. Let's get to work.
Your strength and conditioning coach said that this is probably the best camp that you guys have had to date. What do you think the difference is this camp?
It's because not only the work that we're doing in the camp, but the work we've done outside of boxing camp leading into this fight. We've been building away in New Zealand, doing strength conditioning, doing long runs, working on endurance, working on strength. And going into this fight, I can honestly say there's nothing more that I could have done to prepare for this fight. I've done everything possible. The rest, the eating, the training. And going into this fight, I feel like I'm going to be in the best shape I've ever been in before. I've ticked all the boxes, and I'm just going to go in there. I've done, like they say, they talk about faith and works. You know, you have faith, you put in the work, and the result will take care of itself.
Gives me chills, Joe. Gives me chills, I must say. You just feel so excited for you. You know, when, like I said, you put in all that work and it all comes to fruition for you. I wanted to bring up these face-offs that you've been having with Daniel Dubois, because I don't think people have seen you get like so annoyed almost. I don't know what the word is to describe it, but what are your feelings when you're facing him face to face? Because usually, you know, it's usually always a smile, always very cordial when it comes to you.
Yeah, you know, with Daniel Dubois, he is beaming with confidence, and that's rightly so for what he's done in the ring. He's put on tremendous performances. He looked great. He has knockout power, and he's finished the last three guys with a knockout. And then when I'm sitting opposite him, it's like I can sense his confidence, and I can sense how ready he is for the fight. But he doesn't know how ready I am for the fight. So I just want to get that message across that I know you've put on some great performances, and I know you look real good, and you deserve all the credit you're getting. But I have been working for this fight for a while and for a long time. And just as ready as you are, I am ready as well. And it's not so much annoyed or angry. I just, like, there's a sense of seriousness now that the fight's getting closer. And we have to do these, you know, the press, and we have to do the face-off and talking to each other. There's a time to be nice. And that time is after the fight, you know, and before the fight. But when you're doing these face-offs, I feel like I really wanted that much, and I really wanted that bad. So hopefully it's showing how much I want it. I'm not really annoyed or angry, or just I am excited. I am excited for this opportunity.
That's so cool. That's so cool, because I think all of New Zealand was screaming at the screen when we saw him jump in the ring after the Usyk Fury fight, you know, basically calling out Usyk, and Usyk's like, look, mate, you got a big obstacle in front of you before you can even think about me. And then Usyk goes on to say that he feels you're going to win this fight too. So what does that do for your confidence levels?
It's nice. It's nice to get the opinion of those involved in boxing and those at the highest level. But all those opinions don't really matter and don't really mean much, because what's going to happen in the ring is what's going to happen in the ring. You know, he's going to come out with his game plan. I'll come out with mine. Execute it, follow it, enjoy it. And whoever really wants it the most will get the win. But it's nice to have peers in boxing, a lot of them cheering for me and a lot of them cheering for Daniel Dubois.
Nice one. Look, I will leave you to it. I know it's late over there in Saudi Arabia, but always, you know, appreciate your time. And, you know, interested to see how we're all watching closely. Your YouTube channel is amazing. Watching your camp. So keep up the great work there to you and Kerry.
Thank you. That's nice. It's nice. It's beautiful to have Kerry here to not only capture what's happening in camp, but there's a lot that he's showing, but there's a lot that people don't see. Like a lot of the hard work that we're putting in is, you know, one day people will be able to see more of it. But for now, whatever Kerry's capturing, he's putting together beautiful pieces, and he's just showing how fun it is to be in camp and how everyone is just here to work together to get me in the best shape. So I love this camp. I love the team. I love the opportunity, and I'm going to make the most of it.
Awesome, Joe. Thank you so much again for your time. All the very best come the end of February. New Zealand will obviously be there watching, standing by.
Thank you very much.
Kia ora, kia koe Joe, and all the very best come February 23rd. Whānau, tune in for that one for Joseph Parker's second attempt at becoming a heavyweight champion for the IBF title versus Daniel Dubois. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for stepping out of the whānau household with new little addition, and all the very best for your...
I'm taking this as sleep. This to me,
these lights?
This counts as rest.
Well, you're welcome to come back to work for rest anytime.
I'll just be like this.
Yeah.
Good night, everyone.
Bring a colonia. Whānau, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week. Hei kona mai.